Right, guys. Actually, we are coming back with another episode, and today it would be precise and more 3 minutes. We believe today we have a very good topics to discuss. Especially, I got a very fruitful discussion, supposed to be spoken a lot. So we invited the honor speaker, which is known as yeah Leapheng. Yeah, she is the teacher from English class, something like that. She was nice and also friendly. She got the connection with me before that we used to be together in the previous time as the online podcast as well. But now we actually hit the second time, right? Okay, before we keep moving and try to dive deeper in our conversation, or maybe online podcast, think about it. We try to make something more meaningful and useful for all the English audiences. We welcome everybody actually join this online podcast. Okay, so yeah, my name is Rithy. I don't really want to say more about my names. It was kind of like so many times, and I was kind of be a little bit sick to my name when I heard that. But this just me, and yeah, probably everybody has seen, or you probably have known me before already on online community that I have been through, and also I have been serving English content, by giving a lot of advice and also English videos to many English learners around the world, not only Cambodia, but I expect would be across the globe. Nice, thank you so much. So I would like to hear from our, best English speaker right now. This is on the bot. Yeah, thank you. So please go ahead. Leapheng.
First of all, to Subong and also to all the audience, a very good evening. Well, Bong, thank you so much for having me again. And it has been such a very long time since you invited me to join you on the podcast. So I'm very grateful to join the
Me
conversation
too.
again with you. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't forget that because, that such a very beautiful discussion. So that's why we actually have another noticeable message for all English learners because they got that as the most important matter. And that's why we are coming to discover. Believe it. Thank you for your short introduction and very highlighted as the previous time. And I would like to say, guys, guess what? What we're going to be talking about and things we're going to discuss. Right. Honestly, I would say a word before we keep going. This is about the English problem. Yeah. So all English learners around the world, they probably had that issue when they come to study English personally or publicly, and they try to join the, English courses, something like that. More importantly, it would be happening to the English learners as the non-native learner, but people that take English as a second language to learn. This is about the act of understanding something from one language to another language. This is about code switching, or we could call another way, language alternation. Yeah. And I thought thoroughly in this way because I have seen, hey, you probably have done it as well. I mean, we have seen something on online community and also like social media platforms. Basically, that would be Facebook. People, they are arguing each other, find a way to master something better. Some they probably mention like having code switching is the best way. It would be the best method to learn English effectively. And some they are due back with the supported documents or supported methods, and they try to convene, they perceive the way like, nope, there would be other ways, all right? Try to not going to using code switching, or if we have done that as experiencing or not, it's also about we actually learn. But they believe 100% or strongly like try to stay focused, try to be, in the middle or try to learn only one single language just like this. This is what I have heard and also a lot of comments, on social media. So I think this is a very, noticeable message to you. And also, I know that you have been through this experience before, right? Code switching. Believe me, all Cambodian people, when we come to study English, before we can make sense of using that language, we probably employ the two code information. I mean, like two languages, Khmer to English, English to Khmer. How about that? So I want you to share about your concern, and also I would like to hear from you about the maybe kind of like facts or the reason they are going to cause that matter, right? For the people, and also where that would be happening just like this to them. Yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you, Bong, for the question and the explanation of code switching. To be honest, I am also an English learner. I spend year and also putting a lot of effort into English. So code switching problem is something that I went through as well. So first of all, let me having some kind of perspective on this. Well, as I said before that I am also an English learner. I mean, for me, I don't really mind about someone that use like two languages at the same time or code switch the language. I'm fine with it. And I know that people kind of experience it because due to some problem, right? So right now I'm going to raise up a few problem why people they combine or merge languages together. First of all, I think for those who was born or grew up in the environment that they use two or three languages at the same time. Let me point out the reality of our society that um, kids that go to international school. When they go to international schools, they must absolutely use English language. So they use English or speak English or interact with their friend or with their teacher at school. And then when they come home, they're gonna speak Khmer with their family or their relative. So that's why they kind of get accustomed to the two languages at the same time. So it become a habit of speaking that when they speak the two languages just come together or it become naturally for them to use two or three languages at the same time, or we can call them bilingual people that use two languages at the same time. And another one, or I could say that second cases, right? For those that spend years and putting a lot of effort or into studying English, they try to immerse themselves in English environment, and sometimes they use the wrong method of learning English. So that's why it turned out to be like that. That they kind of merge the two languages at the same time. They get influenced by reading book, watching movie, listening to music, or look up to their celebrity or their idol. So that's why it turned out to be like that. And plus, they try to translate or combine the Khmer and English together. They sing in their mind, and when they speak, they just kind of find the word in English or in Khmer. That's why they combine like Khmer and English together. And sometimes they find it hard. Oh, what is the right word in Khmer for they couldn't react quickly, so that's why they just use English automatically. And another point or the last cases, I think someone that's got influenced by society and also from their celebrity or from their environment. So they listen to influencer or just look up to their idol or their favorite celebrity, and they just see the way that their idols speak, like using code switching style, and then it become their habit. They feel like, oh, it look cool and it very attractive to use like language alternation. Wow, it's so good, so I'm gonna use it like my idol or something. And then it become a way of speaking and also a habit of that. And sometimes it's too late to change, because already it's quite hard to change the habit or the routine that you just do it repeatedly. So that's why it turned out to be like that. Also, the other question that you mentioned about the where and also the type of people, I think it can happen to all ages, right? Because like some code, it never too late to learn something. Even those old people, it can happen to them, right? When they just decide to study that language, like can be English, can be Chinese, can be Thai. It can become like a problem that they don't even aware of it. It just naturally happen. And but I could say that it just happen, or I could say it majority happen to the younger generation, right? Because in our modern society and also modern era, that a lot of young people or younger generation, Gen Alpha, right, just got like a lot of influence by English language. So that's why they just try to pay more attention to English language, and then this problem just happened to them. So I could say that it can happen to everyone, but normally it happened to younger generation than the older generation. So this is what I think, and I mean,
Nice.
I don't know, it's right or wrong, just my own perspective about this. Yeah.
Yes, and I mean, yeah, we all do understand this concern, and we got that deeply, following for many decades, not just now, for many decades. I believe deeply this way, I thought like, this is about the new challenging, not only about the pastime, something I told, because think about it, language would be used from the young age to the old age. Think about right now, who actually employ the language right now? Okay, kids just get born and they don't really what's going on, but they try to grow. Their mind connect to they try to connect to understand something, maybe physical object, or they can use like language as the tone or something to understand, convey the message to the family members as the first reason, the first place to get interact with the language growth. So the point is that like, it could be happening to any level of it's not gonna mind like that person is young, never happens to that unless like you take English to learn, that would be happening there since that time. So this is, I do agree 100% just like that way. And I think the environment would be the source. It's going to create the matter environment. And if we do not care, or we don't really think about it, the things like, oh, that's gonna be simple. When I come to study English, okay, I try to use Khmer language or my Khmer language to understand English, and I try to use English to understand Khmer. This is about thing I have seen by my eyes, and also I have experienced in this way. Let me actually try to connect to the point you just have mentioned earlier. So when I was a kid, when I was curious about English language. I am passionate about that, and I thought the ways to do it effectively. What actually I got to do is that I try to get interaction with the English language by try to doing anything like repetition activities, or maybe try to something and try to speak something up to many people. But what I do is that try to use Khmer and English together. Sounds like we put two languages in one combination. Formally, it's going to, which is known as the complex corresponding information. Sounds like you have to, this is not how you direct, and this is not how you're going to improve your single understanding. For example, whenever you gain a lot of information in English, sounds like you have a lot of English words, and you know how to describe something in English, and you know how to maintain your English understanding a lot more like this. A whole lot. So this is going to be possible for you to keep focus on, on English only. But the problem, something could be like fatigue. Like the weakness. This is about you do not try to understand about the real understanding in English. So this is what I have done when I want to understand something in English, and then I try to search that word that I got in my head. What was that? Like I try to understand that. I try to confront any ways further to understand that thing. But finally, I really try to use Khmer language to understand that thing, and then I try to transfer information from Khmer language of that thing to be English. So how many times that I supposed to be that? But this is how I unlock myself. I try to bend the way to be Khmer to English and English to Khmer. It sounds like, but I know that would be the possibility or the ability of translation or translation ability. Exact reason people that will find like, no, why you have to eliminate Khmer understanding from your English understanding? You have to do that both in order to maintain something better. Especially we need translation skill. You know what? All students that I have met or I have encountered, they mention randomly, they just want to say, I want to question them simply like, how do you want, I mean, how do you really master your English? And they just like, I want to study English to translate something. I want to study English, and I will be good at translating something. That's what you want? I was asking them like that. And they confirmed 100% yes. And I just like, wait, so you want to study English in order to understand English as the language, and then you try to use your native language to understand that. I could say that's not a problem at the first time. You cannot avoid using Khmer to English, but because you got no information at all in English. That's why you need to gain, you have to collect information, in order to make understand one thing. But when you on the long way, right, sounds like you have a lot of information in English, that's the good time to stop using Khmer, or stop using multiple languages and focus on one single language. So that's going to be possible and faster and easier for us. Basically, we are not going to be problem, or we are not going to be challenging with the code switching. That's the way I unlock myself. So that's why now, if I talk in English, I'm going to be in English. No Khmer, no English. But if everybody want me to speak in Khmer, I'm going to be in Khmer because that was my native language and I get born to that language. How am I supposed to, maybe I am unable to speak that language? Impossible, right? Okay, so I think this is like my side to confirm what you mentioned earlier. And I would like to say, to learn the language, we do have many styles and many ways. But this is what we have brought as our, personal perspectives and some things to share, fruitfully. Do you guys think that would be the better way to master your English to the next level? Especially learn to focus on single language. You want to study English? Okay, please increase the English understanding from 1% to 100%, and learn to get rid of, or learn to reduce the client information from 100% to 1%. This is like the contract things, will be working together, one up, one down. But this doesn't apply, or this doesn't comply with the way like, I'm going to forget my native language. Impossible. Until right now, I cannot find someone to keep learning or practicing English effectively, and then it will forget their native language. This is very hard to believe. I find that hard to believe. So that's why I'm sharing this idea with Hein. All right, should we discuss this? And people, they may keep thinking right now, your audience, our audiences together, maybe your friends probably keep watching your video right now with me. So we want to know the solution. Will something going to figure that out and give us the better way to keep moving faster, right? And stay better. I have provided some kind of following ways, but I just want to hear from you as well. Okay, so please go ahead.
Well, thank you, Bong. And I think my solution, or what I have done to stop myself doing it, is not like very different from Bong. And yes, all the English learner went through it, code switching, of course. We sometimes find it very difficult to use only one language, right? When we make a conversation in one single, like combine the language or match the language together. I used to do that before, but I try to change myself for it. I just try to focus only one language. When I want to speak Khmer, I just focus in Khmer language. I try to stop thinking about English. Like,
is it possible to stay focused and keep using only one language? How about your experience? Yeah, keep going.
Well, it's not impossible. I mean, yeah, it's possible. You can do it because I did it. And when I try to use like Khmer, and I think like, oh, I need to stop combine one or two English words into my conversation when I try to speak to someone. So I just focus in Khmer. Like I try to think carefully, and I don't really rush things. Just take a deep breath and try to focus on Khmer language, of course, just use only Khmer. And then when I want to use English language, even though I know that it's very difficult to find the English word that it requires me to use Khmer language to help me, but I just try to find another vocabulary that can replace that Khmer word in order to only use English language. So that's why it's really helpful for me. Just focus on one language. When you want to use Khmer, just try to use Khmer. And when you want to use English, just try to use English.
You was, access to my mind right now. I thought this way because yesterday night I got the broadcasting voice chat on Telegram channel, Effortless English with Rithy over there. So a guy came from our Telegram channel and he was asking the question like, you know what? I want to speak English fluently. I want to stay focused. I want to improve my thinking effectively and stronger. It sounds like he's wants something like better, something like the ability to do something just like that. But he, expressed, he demonstrated straightly the point that I was considering about, just like that. Code switching related as well. He meant he mentioned like we do not have enough vocabulary to respond in the situation or when we actually are in the English conversation, just like that. And all people, they are speaking English. Okay, suppose like they are good with English or they are good at speaking something like this. But he mentioned himself, he's weak at English, especially he weak at the English information. For my term, I define English information would be English words, because when we connect a lot of words, we collect a lot of information, right? So the point is that when we do not have or when we cannot comprehend our words into English, make understanding as much as we want, so that time we cannot use English thinking, or we will be unable to respond to somebody. It sounds like we understand something, we want to say something, but because we are lack of vocabularies or the necessary information to reply or to respond to somebody at some point, and that going to give us time to be complex of thinking. Some people, they will find themselves hard to drop off. Maybe see some people, they got frozen when they want to reply something, but they got lack of information. So it was like, oh, what I'm supposed to say? And then they get back to Khmer or they get back to their native language. This is like code switching as well. But this is not because they try to do it or not. This is not. This is about the ability or capability. I'm talking about the proficiency of the language. So they do not have that, or they have little thing of understanding English. So what is your idea how to help them to gain more information, right? How to help to stay focused and try to confront, try to, or maybe alleviate something hard and try to help them stay focused. Do not get back to Khmer. This is like what I am talking for years, I am caring for many people when they actually in the line of frozen thinking. Sounds like they lost some things to say up and they were like, I'm sorry, I cannot speak English anymore. See? So they will find a way to stop. So how to stop them, not going to let them back in Khmer, but help them to stay focused by doing any activities. I don't know, but you may have any idea for that. Right, please go ahead.
Kind of problem happened to me, and sometimes I don't really feel confident to speak English because I am very afraid to make mistake, right? But the most important thing you need to understand, nobody perfect, make mistake and improve yourself. And the most important thing that you could do to help yourself to improve English language or even Khmer language, first of all, you need to expand your vocabulary. Vocabulary is very important. When you don't even know the word, how can you connect the sentence and speak it out or, make a conversation with other people? So just try to expand your vocabulary by reading more English book or news or even listen to podcasts, music, watching movie with a subtitle, and you could learn how to, we can say another way is shadowing, right? Just try to repeat like the like try to remember it and try to use it, or when the more you use it, the more like you remember it. So you can do like that and try to speak with many people as much as you can, and also try to find an idol or anyone that you can look up to, so you can follow them. The most important thing, the key of learning English, practice. So don't feel despair or feel down, or just believe in yourself. The confidence is something really important as well. So believe in yourself and try to practice, speak it day by day. Like I remember one quote from Buddha, right? Buddha said, mind is everything. What you think, you become. So if you want to be fluent in English, if you set your mind on it, I believe that in the future it will be successful. Just work for it, just go for it. That's all from me. Yeah.
All right, so I actually get a point like this way. You mentioned like we got lack vocabulary just like this point. So the recommendation or the advice go for go to expand the vocabulary like as much as we can, or any multiple activities that we can do related to. But as I mentioned earlier, this is the reason going to cause code switching. Think about people, they do not know many words in English and they learn English and they want to speak them with many people and then they can't. That's because they have small idea or they have limited vocabulary. So the reason I just mentioned earlier, just like that. So this is going to give the problem of code switching. But this is not like the other cases we mentioned earlier. Maybe the first one you mentioned like, yeah, they get born with the environment, right? The second thing is about people, they try to learn with the wrong method or maybe something they do not care at the first. Just learn, master, and everything is going to be complex and going to make more hard to distinguish between Khmer and English, and they're going to mix together. And the third one, the one or the last one, I remember as well, it was about the style or the freedom of using. And that's why people, they can be their own decision to do something. So another case that I mentioned earlier as the scenario that I got from my guy, the guy was actually one of my friends in Telegram channel. He mentioned like, I don't want to have code switching, but because I don't know many words. So how am I supposed to explain something well? You know, that's why he speaks two languages. So we couldn't say like that his problem or that his issue. As you back up the point, yeah, you directed us to learn more vocabularies, right? To expand them up like the way we can, something like that. So I believe for me, yes, like I got this point. I was interested. I mean, that was astounding. You mentioned like try to use the words would be easier or any words then that can replace the complex words that we mean to or we just want to talk about. Some reason just like that. So that's why I commented to many students, also English learners globally. You know what? Some reason you do not need. I mean, we don't want to say expensive vocabulary. That was like proficiency, proficient English level, or me like C1, C2. We don't need that. Some reason we just need you to use simple words and make understanding in the context. That's it. That's like how we actually stay in English longer. Believe me, if I am told to use all English level words, maybe I have to use like C1 all the time. Think about, am I supposed to be fluent? I'm not. I'm not proficiency in this way. So if I am talking something like higher, and this is not necessary for me to keep going in a conversation. It sounds like we're going to make something tough, hard, right? Complex. Why don't we try to make it easy between you and I, right? We made a conversation online right here. And yeah, that was the suggested idea. So again, if you got a problem of using vocabulary and that leads, right? That leads you to have code switching, and you don't have to worry about that. Try to stick to your vocabulary, learn with the, I have like something I have been following for years. I mean, I have been doing for years. Number one, I try to do like synonyms. Yeah, synonym would be important for me forever. Talk about this, I would say so. The reason why, yes. When I talk to somebody, I don't have to like maybe try to remember the words that I learned yesterday and then, yeah, like try to reuse that. No, impossible. So I'm gonna let my brain like possibly or naturally be. And so this is like how I am casual when I come to talk. So I define it as the freedom of thinking and the freedom of using vocabulary. It let me be more confident and flexible, you know, to think and to speak something out. I care only one thing is that send a message and try to make sense to my partner. I mean, English partner. Yeah, this is gonna be like a great connection. We never lose or we never like be lost the idea. Oh, the guy was talking something else. I was talking about this, and we don't understand each other. Yeah, so that's why code switching will be down, and then you will take plan on it. I believe in setting specific plan and also specific commitment. Let's talk about how strong you are, right? How patient you are, because to learn the language, we do not expect maybe 3 days we're gonna be okay for that. No, I take years to learn English like you, and I think everybody will understand exact reason why English is like that. Okay, so I think yeah, we have done something a lot from the beginning until right now. Just a good discussion, and hopefully people will find it as the fruitful way, and that will lead them to see something better, especially focus to learn English rightly. Okay, so this is the last thing we may come to ask you. Yeah, maybe me. I'm gonna ask you, not we. But look, yeah, I think right now, what is the message that you would like to clarify on your term? I mean, the theme, code switching, or using language multiply, I mean, like many ways. What is the best way to learn English language in 2025? Any advice to the kids, I mean, all levels of people, not only the kids, because the kids now, they are learning English as well. They are sent to international school, like you mentioned earlier. That's what I got. All right, so please go ahead.
Well, I think the method that we should try to use and also to eliminate the code switching. First of all, just try to, for those that really struggle with English, let's say those who just try to study English, but they could not find a word, and then they have to use Khmer to help them. So first of all, just try to improve your English as much as you can, expand or improve your English vocabulary. As you mentioned, you don't have to study like a high level word of English or advanced word of English. Just try to use like a simple word, and don't make it complicated. Just try to find a way that is less complicated and go with the flow and enjoy it. First of all, just find a fun way to learn and also improve your vocabulary. I would suggest you to try to listen more and try to talk to many people as much as you can, and try to aware of the code switching. When you're about to use my word in English conversation, try to stop yourself. Oh, it's not right to do it. I have to find another way to replace it, or some easy word to make a good conversation in this, something like that. So you try to remove the habit of combining the language day by day. Just try to stop yourself by doing it, and I believe that um, in the future, stop using like the 2 or 3 languages at the same time. You may use English, Khmer, or Khmer like that. And
What
I think
about,
yeah.
yes, what about people they take code switching as the style of learning? What is the message you would say to them?
I think this is it depend on themselves. If they decide to use that style, nobody gonna stop them, right? It's
Yeah.
about people themselves. I mean, I believe that no often they will not find any difficult way to comprehend or use English or use Khmer. It's just their style to make it more attractive or like draw attention from other people. But I would suggest that you should try to maybe not stop doing it, but just try to reuse it by using Khmer, or when it's the right time to use English, just use English, and when it's the right time to use Khmer, you can use Khmer, because it also professional when you just use only one language, and it can be unprofessional, right? Especially when you are in the formal event and then you just combine the language together. For example, like, oh, Jim Ripsu, I feel so honored to be here like that. You can just choose one language, but the most important thing you have to understand about the theme or the attention or the goal of that event. This is aimed for the younger generation or older or general people, or what kind of language that should be used. Do all these people understand English, or do all these people understand Khmer? So you better understand about the circumstance or situation that you are in, or with the people that you are speaking with. So better use one language. Like if you want to use Khmer, just use Khmer. If you want to use English, just use English. But it's not about right or wrong. It depends on yourself. If you want to like still using the styles, combining the language, yes, just use it, but be aware of the situation as well. Make sure that you are on the right path to do it. That's all from me.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, teacher, thank you for your idea, and also, yeah, you known as the teacher. So me, I'm not the teacher. I'm sorry, but I would say this all the time that I try to be is that a person is, is eligible to maybe share something that I just got and help people to learn English globally in the society or the community. And I mean, like English community would be low and not supposed to be more. Sounds like we do not have any English content creators. A lot of people, they are doing content. I mean, like they do a lot of contents, but exact reason is about like Cambodian language. So this is about the entertainment, something like that. For the education or content, I think not much content. So that's why I decided to do it. I brought you on YouTube right now, also on the Facebook. Hopefully everybody will be aware and also try to recognize, yes, you actually on the bot as well. Okay, so we are coming to an end, and I would like to say thank you a lot more. Especially, I would like to pay my high respect to all venerable monks. Yeah, for those who are my friends and also my followers. I couldn't believe, and I have to say that word. I mean, all of my friends are Buddhist monks. I don't know why, but that was the fact, and I found that hard to believe. But finally, yes, I accepted. I mean, I don't know. A lot of people keep asking the same question, like, why you have to film the videos and why you have to like make the video with the monks all the time? Why not gentlemen? Why not generals like this? So I don't know. Okay, but yeah, time met. We will make something better for this. All right, so guys, don't forget to click the button, subscribe the video, YouTube, Effortless English with a T. This is like another time and another episode and nice topic. I mean, sensitive one or what? That's dependable by what you think. But we be honest and we try to be nice. We're not gonna be like manipulated in the way of something. No, we just try to show you. I mean, like showcase to the reality of using the language, especially based on our real experiences. What I got, what Hank got. So that will be the TV show. Watch this. All right. Thank you again. I would like to, thank you so much again for the support all the time. All right, guys. So that's it. And see you with the next episode. I'm not quite sure who's supposed to be replaced as the English speaker after Hey, right? So have a good day. Bye-bye.